This is an empty room. And watch, the same room, furnished. That took about 30 seconds and cost me less than an Aussie dollar. Staging is the traditional way to present a property to a buyer's market, and it costs a few $1,000s and takes a couple of days to set up. This was done in an AI app. I made it and named it StageRight. This app is not the point of this video. The point of this video is to approach the question that's on everyone's mind. When will AI take my job? I'd like to reframe that thought and inspire you to ask a different question. How can I get AI to do the jobs that I want to get done? In this video, I'll show you how to leverage AI for everyday repetitive tasks. I'll discuss invaluable things that you should keep an eye on, like, for example, what has AI recently become reliably good at? And then, how do I use AI tools to build something genuinely useful around that new capability? In the process, I hope to demystify AI for you. This is going to be a short, jam-packed video to inspire you to master AI so you can be confident that AI won't master you. Here are the 3 questions to ask. I'll walk you through each of them and apply it to the use case of staging a property and building the app StageRight. So the first question is there something AI can genuinely do well now that it couldn't reliably do a year ago? 2, does the thing the old way cost real time or real money? Because if it's already cheap and easy, there's no point endeavoring to make a system if it's already as good as it gets. And 3, can I wrap that AI capability, that new talent, into a system that makes it reliable? And I say that because we all know AI is random. It's not going to always work. Another way to articulate that question is, can I make the product worth it even with the anomalies that are inherent in AI? Bridging that gap is the whole job of the product or workflow system, this AI task that we're packaging. So let's get a closer look at this thought process by walking you through StageRight and asking each of those 3 questions. You'll see the method better through the example. So step 1, the capability, virtual staging, turning an empty room into a furnished listing ready one. Here's what makes it genuinely interesting and valuable. This wouldn't have been possible reliably in an app a few months ago. So what changed? Well, it wasn't one breakthrough. It was really 3 breakthroughs, or 2, in 3 different AI models, and they landed close together. So first, we had Anthropic's Claude model. Anthropic's Claude model took a real leap just a couple of months ago in April. It became great at visual understanding. It could suddenly read a photo over 3 times better than it could before. On tough visual tests, it went from getting about half of the questions right to nearly all of them. And that's perfect for staging, because to get the best results, we need a system that can understand the image of the room before it can furnish it. So what type of things can it understand? Well, aspects like the light direction, the camera angle, the architecture of the room, that's the understanding piece that AI recently got a whole heap better at, specifically Anthropic's Claude models. But understanding the room isn't enough. Something then has to add the furniture, the decor, and in the style that we want. And it needs to be done in a realistic way without warping the walls or the windows or changing details like the lights or PowerPoints. It must be true to reality to actually do the tasks we want to get done. Amazingly, a few AI models recently became phenomenally powerful at editing photorealistic images. So first, there was Google's Nano Banana. It set the bar at the end of last year, so about 6 months ago. And then this April, OpenAI shipped an image model just as serious, and in my opinion, I'd say it's much better. So within 6 months, 2 capabilities across 3 major tech companies became available to regular people like you and I. It's this combination that's made convincing staging actually possible. But it's the way these 3 AI models are combined, designed, and productized that make their respective capabilities valuable. I'll show you how in a minute, but for now, that's step 1. We've found an AI capability that's genuinely ripe and ready. Step 2, is it even worth building? something can be possible and still be pointless if the old way was already easy. So I'll run this test with StageRight as an example. To physically stage a room, like bringing in real furniture, stylists, movers, it costs $2,000 to $3,000 per property. Or you could get a human photo editing service. It's cheaper, but it's still $20 to $30 per image, and you wait a day or two. StageRight does this for a couple of dollars in under a minute and across 12 different types of styles. So it's clearly safe to say the old way is genuinely expensive and slow. There's a real gap. It's worth building. But I can hear the obvious objection already. The AI models are public. Why wouldn't you just open ChatGPT and do this yourself? And hold on to that thought, because the answer to that is a whole secret of step 3. Before we go on to step 3, I'll walk you through using StageRight from start to finish. This way, before I start explaining how to package AI, you've actually seen how this AI capability has been packaged in StageRight.
So this is the landing page. It's an integral part of presenting the AI package. You can check this one out in a link in the description. I will touch more on the AI tools I use and how to get AI to do a quality job at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But in case you're wondering a bit more now, this app is hosted in AWS, which I connect to Claude Code in Cursor. So now we're up to the onboarding. I've specifically designed the onboarding for the different types of circumstances that people would find a staging app useful. Of course, we have real estate agents, and within that, we have those who sell and those who lease properties. Within that, we also have the category of furnished and unfurnished properties. Of course, if you're leasing a property furnished, then this app is not relevant, but it becomes much more relevant and valuable for those who are leasing out unfurnished properties. So then we also have people who stage and photograph properties on the market. And that was a unique pathway within the onboarding stage, and it acknowledges the uniqueness and quality of physical staging before suggesting the value of adding an offer like StageRight to existing physical staging offers. Overall, the onboarding highlights the value of the output, but also the process of how to ensure AI is being used responsibly and highlighting how the user still has the power to scrutinize the results. And finally, to fully acknowledge the randomness of the outputs, StageRight is packaged to add an extra credit for every 7 credits spent. So this actually means users get 16 free credits to start. And after they go through all of that, users can access their credits as soon as they create the account. And that's the onboarding process. So this is the inside of the app. It's super simple. You can add a property, and then within that property, you can add a room. And that sorts out the images for you, making it really tidy. When you add a room, you go through a short form. There is an option to add different angles within that room, but that's not necessary to get great results. The multiple angles are there for properties that have unexpected layouts. This part on screen now is a deeply central aspect of how StageRight is packaged. It's how many images are generated in each turn. This is where the AI models I was talking about earlier come into play. So I packed it in 2 ways. With the default option, users get 3 takes or images per style per room. One of those images is generated by Google's Nano Banana, and the other 2 are variants of the OpenAI image model, and that package consumes 2 credits. Alternatively, users can get 1 image per style for 1 credit, and in that offer, it's an OpenAI image model that's used. So the first images will land in the app after about 30 seconds. I fast forwarded through that generation phase, and they look like this. So you can start to scrutinize the images using the slider while the others are generating. You can also compare the images side by side. All of these features make the task as easy and effective for the user as possible. After about 3 to 4 minutes, the images should all be generated. If there are some takes that didn't go through, it will be noted up in the top left corner there, and a refund will be automatically added back to the credits. As you can see, the second lot of images have landed in the platform. And while the third lot of images are being generated, you can take the time to check the walls, floors, PowerPoints, and the scale of the furniture within the room. So you can see here, I'm happy with a few of the results already. So I'll download this image. I'm quite happy with how this one turned out. And you can see that it has the AI accountability watermark baked into the picture. And now we're back in the platform, and you can see that all 9 images have been generated up there in the top left-hand corner. And this is the last image. I think that as a whole, it does a great job of getting a quality output while also respecting the variability that will happen within every AI generation. So I'll quickly touch on the pricing. Obviously, it's a massive part of packaging. To make it valuable, instead of having just the typical subscription model, I've gone with a pay-per-use option. That way, users don't have to pay for what they don't use, and I hope that it will build trust between users and the StageRight platform. So to make sure that you really understand what I'm talking about in step 3, and to drive home how valuable well-packaged AI can be, I'll show you a property that I found advertised online. I redid the images using StageRight, and I just did the one take for each room of the 4 rooms in the top row here. This means that I didn't go generate a huge amount of images or consume heaps of credits or time to get the images here that you see. These images were generated first go. That's 6 credits for 3 styles, providing 9 images. For every room, there was at least one high quality image that didn't need editing. In particular, I love this one here. This was an actual advertised image for a property worth close to $1 million. That just shows what I mean by packaging. The value is clear and intuitive. The process is simple and the platform is uncluttered. Keep all that in mind while we unpack the third question.
So step 3, can I wrap the AI capabilities into a system that makes it reliable? In the case of StageRight, this was very challenging for a few reasons. There are other AI capabilities that can be created and packaged in an app in a really simple way. For example, I actually created a transcription app for myself in 1 hour while I was creating this video, fully packaged. I'll do a video on that one and give you the full prompt so you can create the app yourself and see how different AI capabilities can be productized and created into an app. But as you'll see now with StageRight, the creation and packaging had more complexities to it. So here's the uncomfortable bit. Anyone can access these AI models. And if we're to stop right there, then AI companies would absolutely envelop our jobs. But the value isn't in unrestrained intelligence. The value is in restrained intelligence. That is a niche system and packaging of AI. So said in another way, the system and packaging is creating a specific role or task or system of thought for the AI to be held in. When you place AI into this system, you turn a powerful but sometimes flaky, generalized tool into something that works just enough to meet the user's expectation. And what is that expectation? Well, people want a system or process or workflow that produces effortless, high quality results for the user in a package or in an offer that is honest and mindful of the variability and randomness in AI. So think of it like this. Here's an analogy. Think of AI capability like a piece of fruit, and we're squeezing it into the system that's like the juicer. And then we get the juice, which is the quality output. Then we need to package it into an earnest product so that it meets the expectations of the people using it. For example, we would want to package it as fresh orange juice rather than medicine. It's the packaging that really sets up the user's expectations, and it's so important for the whole product. But back to the question, why not just use ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, or another AI image platform? And honestly, you can. But none of those were built for this. They're built for everything. There are a lot of downsides to having a very generalized platform. And this is where packaging again comes into it. They're open-ended chat conversations. So you're writing the prompts yourself. And most people genuinely don't know how to describe lighting or perspective or even what is needed to be said to get what you really want. Like knowing that you need to tell the AI not to redesign the walls or to hold light switches in their place. When you're finally done, your photos are sitting in either a lengthy chat history or they could be in a downloads folder with no order to them. They're usually provided one image at a time. This adds time if you don't get it the first instance. And in some platforms, to get the job done well, you need to fumble through complex settings. This again adds time and makes the task much more difficult and variable. Depending upon how you are doing the task, you may be juggling multiple tabs. So in the case of staging, you could be going from an AI image generation model to your downloads folder through to an editing tool and maybe even back to the AI conversation. Again, all of this adds complexity, time, and difficulty to the task. Also, something many people don't know is that if you want to get the best quality output, you don't get that in the free versions. You will absolutely need to pay a monthly subscription to get consistent and reliable quality images. It will cost anywhere from $20 to $100 per month, depending on how you do it. And all of that I've just said there is mental load, is friction, is variability in the process. Every bit of that is work the person is doing that can be offloaded into a system or packaged AI. In the example of StageRight, the work is now just upload a photo, tap a style, download an image. That's it. The challenging parts, the prompts, the tabs, filing, putting an AI watermark on the image, it's all done for you. That expertise is built into the system and it's done better than most people could do on their own if they were to create a system through all of those different platforms themselves. Here's the take-home message. While general AI models and tools hand you a blank canvas and 1,000 tiny decisions, a simple AI system hands you a simple decision. For example, pick a style and stage a room. So in this case, the packaging has honestly been the hardest part for me to design. While I did a lot of market research as to other apps and platforms out there, I didn't actually reach out to real estate agents. So this app is built on a lot of assumptions. I have spent huge amounts of time, proportionately, compared to the rest of the app, on the onboarding process to set up user expectations. All of this begs the question, how do you build this? I'll be straight, I'm not writing the code by hand. What I've gotten good at is directing AI to build well and do what I ask it to do. For StageRight, I used Cursor and Claude Code. And by the way, there are so many videos out there to help you get started with those tools if you're interested to give this a go. I won't cover how to build it in this video, but I'll give you a quick tour. Basically, when I have Claude Code connected, it takes my instructions in normal English language. Here are some tips I've found helpful within Claude Code in my Cursor setup. So first, I'm really specific about what I want. The clearer I am about the actual outcome, the better the result is. Second, I have the vision, so I keep oversight on what is getting created. If you don't keep hold of the vision, you will end up getting something cool and interesting, but not applicable in the way you wanted it to be. It'll stop being your project and start becoming an AI-led project. So I check the changes from each instruction I give it. I mention what I like and what I don't like and the reasons why. I get it to redo things And I definitely don't just take the first version and move on. And the third thing was giving the AI contextual memory. You should be able to find videos online to guide you on how to do this well. But to put it simply, at the end of a task, I get Claude Code to write down what we did and what it learned about the project. And it placed the notes into the project's main files. It sounds maybe complex and maybe like a minor detail, but the effect of doing this within a project and when you're using AI is enormous. It can't be overstated. What it means is the next time I sit down, the AI already knows how the app works, design decisions, the quirks of the app and my quirks and how I think and what I like. So instead of guessing or starting fresh every single conversation, it's got context. Honestly, that strategy is a big part as to how I've maintained some consistency in the design of the app. And also, it's made the conversations way easier. That's the method, start to finish. 1, find a capability AI has genuinely just gotten good at. 2, check if it's expensive or slow the old way. And 3, the hard one for this particular case, use AI tools to wrap it in a system and product that's reliable, effortless, and honest about what it does. If you want to watch how I built the transcription app and try it yourself, that video will be dropping soon. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.